Welcome back to another edition of Plug In with Avi and Kyle. We are Avi and Kyle, Internet's odd couple, who are your best source for everything that is anything tech news and product reviews, coming to you for the 14th time, 1-4, with our visual radio show.
That's the new year. First.
Still filming in Orange County.
Still?
In Mission Viejo at the awesome OC Digital Studio.
Yes.
Make sure you check us out on the web at iTunes or YouTube by simply searching for Plug In with Avi and Kyle, or on our website, pluginpod.tv. Avi was right. We argued about it a few weeks ago, and he was absolutely right. I feel stupid.
I am 99.9% right. You can ask.
And to find out more about OC Digital Studio and how they can help bring your ideas to life, you can check them out at ocdigitalstudio.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to our guests, too.
Yeah, and I hope, Avi, I know you guys did, but I hope that all of our watchers and viewers had a happy and safe holiday season.
Yes.
But it's over. She's done.
Yes,
That's
time
the end
for
of
the
it.
resolutions
Time
and
to
the new
get your
goal.
ass in gear, right? It's time to live up to that week and a half resolution you just made.
That's it. You know, gym membership actually goes up higher in January, February.
Oh, yeah.
In fees,
Huh.
and it's no place to work out. But come March, April, you can run the show.
Yeah,
run
exactly.
the show there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like the old dog there.
Yeah.
So we have two awesome guests this week. We have our first guest is going to be Mr. Michael Mooney, co-founder and director of science and education for Super Nutrition.
Yes.
Then our second guest today is a reoccurring guest. He's coming back finally to visit with us, Dr. David Freedman. He's going to be back in the studio, this time in studio.
In studio, not
Last
on-
time he was, we were having some
Skype.
trouble, but he was on Skype. It looked okay to me, but then we had some behind the scenes stuff. So he's going to be physically in the studio. He's going to show us his machine.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that with him.
That's great.
All right. So what do we got in tech news today, Avi?
In tech news, a couple things actually. We this morning I watched how with the new iPhone you need your fingerprint to unlock it or even do transaction with Apple Pay. But guess what? If you have a photo, it doesn't have to be high definition with your fingers or your hands on. They can replicate your fingerprints and they can hack the phone. So watch out when you do videos. Don't go with your fives. Hey.
Yeah,
hi,
no
up.
jazz hands.
No.
No, fists
Yes,
only.
that's it.
Yeah.
Actually, a German government representative, she was giving a speech and she went like that. And the guy took the picture from wherever and he hacked her fingerprint.
Geez.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. In world news, we're going to get into some holiday traveling horrors that happened.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the movie The Interview.
Yes. Did you watch it?
I did, but we're going to get into that later because we have a guest sitting in our studio right now.
Yep.
Mr. Michael Mooney, welcome to the show.
It's nice to be here. Thank you.
So why don't you give us a little bit about your background and how you ended up with these products.
Well, Super Nutrition was co-founded by my father and I 37 years ago.
Wow.
So we've been actually innovating for a long time, and we have a new product called Heart Smart that is the first of its kind. Never been done before. The combination of nutrients that really, really help support cardiovascular health and bone health too.
Where are you located, or where you said you started it with your dad? Is it in Southern California?
It's Oakland, California.
Oh, okay,
right across
Oakland.
from San Francisco.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. All right. And how did you stumble to, or with your dad, to nutrition and doing vitamins?
Well, I'll make a long story short. I had health problems as a kid.
Okay.
And when I was 14, I went in the mental hospital and there were all kinds of stuff. And I told them what they wanted to hear, so they'd let me out because they wanted to do shock treatments and crazy stuff.
Oh.
And I knew it was all wrong.
Yeah.
And I happen to have a gift blessing talent. I find information very well. And I found information about a nutrient that I started taking. One of the founding fathers of nutrition was a sort of the expert on this. And I read his material. And I thought, I'll try this. And it changed my entire life. And my biochemist father, when I got him to try it, he felt tremendously different and smarter.
Oh,
And studies came out later.
smarter than a biochemist.
My dad was a Renaissance man that went to 22 different universities while I was growing up because he liked to go to school.
Yeah.
So,
So that made him feel even smarter than the guy he already was.
He found out he could remember longer strings of numbers when he did mathematical equations. 15 numbers instead of 7 when he took this nutrient.
Yeah.
And so it got us to looking at vitamins and health.
Yeah.
And the whole picture, from health foods to vitamins just everywhere.
So do you go to the GNA and GNC stores, and you go there, and there's miles and miles on shelves of all kind of vitamins. How do you know which one? And everybody claims super and duper. How do you distinguish between them, and what's the one thing that a person like us can look at and say, oh, okay, this is will work or not?
Well,
Because there's a lot of bogus claims.
It's more like Whole Foods Market for us.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's the most important is not to have a bunch of artificial colorings and ingredients in formulas, to have pure nutrients. And then the number one consideration is people say this nutrient or that nutrient's better is potency. You actually want to have potency. Our one-a-day vitamins are 23 times stronger for the B vitamins, and so that's why you feel them. Than the leading brand everybody knows. So it's a matter of looking for potency. You want to have, we have 2,000 units of vitamin D.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's totally considered to be safe. The United States government says at least 4,000 is totally safe. And that's just in our daily for men and women. When you get to be 50, our dailies have 3,000. And I would put more, but people are, timid about it. Their doctors are not sure,
Can you get over the limit? Because some stuff you take too much of it, it affects your health, or they say, like a couple of the vitamins, they found that you cannot take too much vitamin C, for example.
Well, with vitamin D, the Institute of Medicine says that 4,000 a day is totally safe, but they've been criticized by all the top vitamin D scientists. 4 of them published a review of all the vitamin D studies and showed that 10,000 units a day was safe for, quote, almost all adults. And that means, people with kidney problems. There's a few rare people who shouldn't take that much, but I've done blood tests with my doctor, and I always tell people, do a before blood test before you start vitamin D.
Yes.
And then find a level. And while the Institute of Medicine says that 4,000 is safe, the world authorities say that all adults should take 5,000 units a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you do blood tests and you look for the blood levels, doctors will say 30 is fine, but the world authorities say 40 to 60 is really good. And so I've done blood tests with my doctor multiple times over a couple-year period, and I found out that I need to take 8,500 a day.
Wow.
And it's safe. It's safe. That's the main thing. Is my doctor's you're perfectly safe, and my blood level is 60, which they say is where you really start to have immune strength, and your bones are going to be, better.
Yeah.
And your immune system's going to be stronger. And so, I've done
Stronger bones, that's important.
Oh yeah, immune system too, long term.
Oh yeah.
I don't ever get sick.
Yeah.
You don't want to have colds and flus and all those kind of things. And immune strength is important.
Yeah.
So normal diet American diet doesn't have any of these supplements, or very little of the supplements.
Very little.
Well, I think that we got a special treat for our guests. I have a 2x4 over here. We're going to break it over his back. No, I'm just kidding. No.
And see if he withstand it.
Yeah. No, I was reading on the site. I wanted to get into some things because we're going to run out of time. So some things I read on the website, supernutrition.com, correct? Is that
Supernutrition USA.
USA.com. There you go.
Yeah.
Supernutritionusa.com is that it said on there, like people were asking if the children's vitamins you have are chewable. And the answer was you can chew them, but they're going to taste gross because to make it chewable, you have to add additives and sugars.
Oh, you can only
And
put a little.
color.
Vitamins
Yeah.
taste terrible. You only put a little bit in, and then a bunch of sugar.
Yeah, and
we-
you
we-
want to
we
avoid
won't-
that.
Yeah, we won't do that. No.
And that's I like that approach to it. Yeah, it seems like, because my daughter takes gummy vitamins, but I know.
Sure.
Well, you can't put those vitamins. You can't even put in gummies because they taste so bad.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't even put a smidgen.
Yeah, so I like that. And then there are some other questions people had, like why are the pills so big? And you've already answered that because they're so potent. You put so
They're
much
so
in there
potent.
to make sure that you
I'll tell you, the
absorb.
easiest way to swallow them is your brain doesn't dilate the spharynx. You know, when you swallow water in a tablet.
Yeah.
So if you swallow food, you put the vitamin in, mix it up with some food. We swallow bigger pieces of carrots than
Yeah, yeah.
vitamins.
Yeah.
But I just swallow it with bubbly water, and the bubbles trick the brain into opening up your pharynx.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to swallow even big tablets, and kids
Why
can
can't
swallow.
you do it like a smaller one and take 2 of them?
Well, the problem is that most people don't won't take 2 a day.
Yeah, okay.
They want 1 a day.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true.
One a day.
That's very
Yeah.
true because there's a lot of supplements that you can take that give you this or give you that
Yeah.
little extra things that you needed, but you have to remember, like, I took it in the morning, but now I got to take it at lunch or with dinner. And,
yeah.
people are too busy. If it doesn't remind me on my iPhone, I'm not going to remember to do it. I want
Yep.
1 a day.
It's one.
You want
one,
one-
one, one,
Yeah.
one.
One and solve your
One and done.
problem.
One and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've already started my daughter, with because she has to take allergy medicine.
Yeah.
and we're giving her chewable ones, but it just they weren't working as well. So we switched to pills.
Yeah.
So I just she pours water in her mouth. I say, tilt your head back, throw the pill in, and swallow, and then she's done. That's it.
Tries the
Bubbly
bubbly
water.
water.
Yeah.
And our kids' vitamins. They're called Perfect Kids, and we would call Immune Kids. And they're little bitty tablets. They're not big, and so you just say, "Watch mommy or daddy," and you swallow yours. And
Yeah.
if you take it with bubbly water, like I said,
You'll never know.
the bubbles trick the mechanism, and everything opens up. Easy to swallow.
Nice. So we have some products here in front of us. So we have like the 50 plus. We have the men and women's triple power. So those are the super potent, going to make you feel better, stronger bones, stronger immune system.
23 times stronger than the most well-known brand.
And then we also have here vegan Heart Smart
and perfectly
Heart Smart.
safe.
And perfectly safe.
Perfectly safe. Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
To be safe.
Yeah.
And you can take it and not worry that you're going to be.
Well, because
healthy.
people are not smart about some things.
Yeah.
Like that's why they don't have like potassium tablets that you can just get at the store. Because people are going to overdose on potassium, and that'll be the end of it. So the Heart Smart, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
You mentioned this earlier. So you have a vegan version here.
We have a vegan version because we've got there's a lot, especially in the natural food stores.
Exactly. Yeah.
People who don't want any animal products, and so we have a special form of vitamin D that's made from lichen, where most vitamin D comes from lanolin from shearship's wool. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it, but people who are vegan are really particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So we
don't
have 2
want animal
versions.
products.
The regular version is also very clean and natural. They're delicious.
Oh, delicious.
They're that's the thing.
So you can chew them.
These are not tablets. These are berry flavored chewables.
Oh,
that when you
okay.
put
And they
in
don't
your
have
mouth-
added sugar and stuff?
No, well, the thing is, we use a special sweetener called D-ribose that actually, in high amounts, we only have a little bit to give the
To sweeten it a little bit.
In high amounts, they give it to athletes, and they have way better endurance because it actually feeds cellular ATP. It's the bottom line fuel your cells run on. So it's not a sugar.
Yeah, it's not the
actually
sugar
in high
high
doses.
and
It doesn't
carbohydrate.
it doesn't raise blood sugar.
Really?
Yeah, but it tastes sweet like sugar. So we put it in. We put organic blueberry flavor,
Wow.
natural wild berry flavor, and there's no aftertaste. It tastes, and people go, "Oh my God, I wanted to put a thing on a label that said, "Caution, you got to reach your children because they might eat the whole bottle."
Yeah. Well, we have to finish up here, but another thing that's on your website is you can't buy them directly from the website, but you can put in your zip code. Or your,
And
and
find
it'll
stores.
find a retailer.
And they'll be all over the place
Yeah.
and just about everywhere you could think of.
Yeah, and then there's also on your website you have a list of people you can order them through the mail. If
There's
Can you
all
find
the
them in
internet.
Whole Food or?
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
so you're on.
just appearing. They're just starting to appear
That's
in
a
January.
big market.
Yeah.
And so you could go to Whole Foods or Walgreens
Yeah.
or they're going to be all over the place.
Okay.
you know.
Good.
Well, we've been here with Michael Mooney. Michael, why don't you take a quick minute to tell people where they can find you and they can find the websites they can find this on?
Yeah, supernutritionusa.com is where you find, the information, and it'll lead you right to. We have a micro site that talks about Heart Smart. That sort of gives you the background science of these 3 nutrients that are balanced a special way to help calcium go where it's supposed to go in the body, and so it helps strengthen bones and then keep calcium balance, in the body. And Americans are grossly deficient in one of the key nutrients in here, special form of vitamin K2 that Americans are just barely getting familiar with. Vitamin K2 is what it is.
Vitamin K2.
Is this age specific to take this for Heart Smart or any?
Not really. Even kids could take it, and it's still in the safe range. Yeah. It's just I say, be careful, keep it out of range because they could eat the whole bottle. They taste so good.
Yeah.
That's great. As always, keep all medicine out of the reach of children.
This is not medicine. Vitamins.
Vitamins. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Vitamins.
if it comes in a bottle, you kind of want to keep
Well, there's
it.
no iron, so there's not that kind of problem.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. All right. Well, we've been here with Mr. Mooney, and we will see you after the break. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes.
That's all the bison meat.
Yeah, our second half of the show, our second segment of the show. I'm so excited. Last time we had this gentleman on, it was a semi-disaster. He was trying to Skype in, and our
his
headphones
light
weren't
fell
working.
off.
Yeah, his light wasn't working. His light turned off above him. Dr.
He
David
didn't pay the
Freedman.
rent then.
Yeah. Put all his money into his research, forgot to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Dr. David Freedman is back with us today. Last time we had him here, we spoke about Ebola and this new testing and machine he was inventing.
developing and working on.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So just give us a quick recap on your background, so the people who weren't nice enough to go back and watch our other videos.
Okay. So I have a doctorate in electrical engineering, and I've been working at Boston University for too long, maybe 10 years. And I recently formed a company to commercialize this product that we're talking about.
Nice.
And the product is
It's a platform for detecting different pathogens or DNA, looking at genomic markers. It's basically a very novel biosensor.
Okay. And it's the company is Next Gen Arrays.
That's correct. Next Gen Arrays.
And when we had you on last time, you were saying that we were speaking specifically about Ebola because that was what was happening at the
the
time.
hottest on the news.
And you were doing Ebola research, and that's kind of where this Next Gen Arrays came from before there was a huge outbreak in the U.S. and all over the world. And now you've taken kind of that path, but now you've expanded. Now you're not Ebola specific anymore. You are a bunch of different diseases.
That's correct. I mean, in August, I think we talked in August or September around that time frame.
sometime.
And around then there was the couple of cases we had in the U.S., so everyone was obviously freaking out.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to get Ebola.
Yeah,
But so since then we've been looking at a lot of different applications. I mean, currently we're developing an Ebola panel, so it not just detects Ebola, but other hemorrhagic fevers. So the idea is that you can take a drop of blood and you can look for many different things at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's how long does your test take to give results?
So right now it takes a little under an hour, but our target goal is less than 15 minutes. Yeah.
And that's not Ebola specific.
Yeah.
That's any.
No, that would be for a number of tests.
Okay.
Yeah. And as we continue to develop our system, we can add more tests. So we can even look for influenza or, I mean, diseases commonly associated with Ebola or the symptoms are the same. Malaria is almost identical clinically for the first few days. So looking for something like that would be very valuable.
Yeah.
Great. Now, a question. I know we kind of put HIV on the back burner, but in Africa, it's a major issue. Is this machine can detect that type of?
I think theoretically we could. We've never actually looked at it because there's a lot of good technologies looking at HIV. So, but theoretically, I think we could. I don't see any reason why we can't.
Well, I like that. You know, the first show we were on, we had you on. We said you were a few years before Ebola was even.
Yeah, we've been working on it for
You
3
were
or 4
working on it.
years.
And
Yeah.
now you're just okay. We've kind of got that. Now we're gonna continue with that, but a lot more
Expand it
stuff.
to a bigger.
Yeah.
We're going
So
to
you're not-
continue to expand it.
Yeah,
That's right.
And I like that you're not just focusing on the one thing that can make you money now, but you're actually concerned and trying to make something that's going to help people.
Solving
for
bigger
years.
problems.
Bigger problems,
Answering more.
or more problems than just one.
That's
Which
right.
is really
That's
nice.
right.
Which is really
Thank you.
That's really good. So.
Well, actually, he's here today. It's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that because I was going to jump on to the next question I had, but no.
You can answer ask the question after, but he's actually on his way to the Consumer Electronics Show, and did you guys going to have a booth in there?
So we're sharing a booth with the National Science Foundation at the Eureka Park, which is very exciting. It's hardware startups that are, I believe it's hardware startups only, but that are forming a product and putting it on the market. So they're sort of at the level where I am. We're incubating, we have a product, but we're not actually selling anything currently.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think Eureka Park, I mean, CES is going to be huge. Right?
Yeah,
I was reading today that there's not enough hotels for the number
Oh,
of people
yeah.
that are going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
there.
CES
So
is
it'll be
crazy.
intense, I think.
Well, I'm taking the SUV, so we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
sleep in it.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. You guys are driving to Vegas together.
Yeah.
Don't keep all those vials and test
Yeah, I'll
tubes
keep them safe.
sealed.
Yeah, there you
Keep
go.
them sealed. I need Avi back. Okay.
I promise.
So what about these drugs like ZMAP?
ZMAP. Oh yeah, so ZMAP is it's very interesting. So ZMAP, I think, is a company somewhere. I wish I remember where in California. They're developing they're antibodies that basically it's kind of like a vaccination, but it's really therapeutic. So it goes into your body and it tricks your immune system. I mean, this tricks is a funny word. Your immune system doesn't respond naturally, and so by taking ZMAP, your body starts attacking the virus, right? So the immune system, it recruits all the cells that you need
The
for your
good
immune
cells
system. Yeah.
to fight the.
It's really an amazing thing because they're growing it with tobacco leaves, which
What?
is I mean that's the part
Yeah.
it's pretty far out there, but it's amazing. So they can mass produce it, and it does take some time. So I know they had some ZMAP originally, and then essentially the crops are extinguished, and they need to make more, and it takes a few months to grow the leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to smoke it; you just take it.
That
out.
was a.
I don't think smoking it would be very
Yeah,
therapeutic, but I don't know.
You're gonna have Ebola and cancer.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that was a
Then
question.
then you get marijuana to solve your
There you
problem.
go. And the circle of life is complete. No, I asked that question because, and I know that I asked that question just because I want people to see that, you're not just flying by the seat of your pants. I mean, you know this stuff.
Oh, I'm pretty familiar. I
You're
mean, we're
versed.
spending a long time on this, and I've read up as many papers as I can. I have not been to Africa, so I'm not a resident expert, but I've talked to many people who have, and so I have I like to think I have a good understanding of what's going on and what needs to be, what they really need to solve their problems.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, the tests that they're doing right now, what they call PCR tests, these are very, very sensitive tests, a little bit better than ours in terms of their detection limits, but they're having trouble translating out of the lab And you can imagine in Africa, there's a lack of resources in
Not too
terms
many
of
labs
having
around.
labs close to
Or
where people are getting
traveling.
sick.
Exactly.
Traveling. So
Yeah.
they'll take the blood, and it can take 1 to 2 to 3 days to
get
get
to
to the
the-
lab and then actually then get the result back.
Yeah.
So what they really need is what they call a point of care test,
Exactly.
something that's close to the patient. So
Yeah.
and that's sort of what we're working on,
Yeah.
and some other companies. Yeah.
But so, you're one of the few companies working on a test that can help people with everything. So
That's right.
We were just talking before we started the segment, and you said malaria for the first few days has very similar symptoms.
Yeah. And I mean, even now with the outbreak in West Africa, more people are dying of malaria than Ebola.
Yeah.
So
Every
it's
day.
really and it's very important to get the right diagnosis, because
Exactly.
either you take, if there's ZMapp or an equivalent drug available, you want to give them that, or if it's malaria, you want to give them anti-malaria pills.
Exactly. Yeah, and you
So-
don't want to. If it's malaria, you don't want to give them ZMapp.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Especially
your
in
test
short
will.
supply. Yeah.
Yeah, your test will aid in that. And so if they said, oh, we want to, if they have your test, your machine, and they say, we want to test and see what this is, they can put it in. And they're not just going to get, oh, well, it's definitely not Ebola, but we don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really
I think
beneficial.
it's very useful.
Yeah.
And that's where the market is heading, and the technology is moving in that direction.
Portability and diversity rather than one machine for one type of
That's right.
exactly,
That's right.
exactly.
But your company, you were talking about Eureka Park, and you said incubator. You're not only developing the software, you're developing the hardware to go with the software. So you're not relying on a second part of the equation to get it
Yes.
done.
Yeah. We're building the whole system right now.
Yeah.
Ideally, we'd like to partner with some manufacturers on getting the
Oh,
reagents
yeah,
for
absolutely.
it and for distribution and those things. But we're building the technology from the ground up.
Wait, you mean you're not going to build each system by hand yourself?
I am now, but I hope someday that I
Yeah.
have some help in that.
Yeah, well, the system that you've showed us is portable. Doesn't need a power source. It just plugs right into a computer. And I don't know if we'll be able to get this on camera, but we have it right here.
That's
And
right.
I don't know if we'll be able to fire it up, but I just want to show people how portable
Sure,
it really
sure.
is.
And I'll just quickly clarify. It does need a power source still, but it could run off a battery. So,
Oh, there you go.
So right now we're going to run it off the computer.
Do you have the USB
Yeah, I
cable?
have it right here. So we have this is the system.
That's right.
You're
That's
going to
the
plug it into
Into a laptop.
a
whole-
laptop.
Surface.
with a
Microsoft Surface 3.
Surface, even.
Just picked up one, so we
Yeah.
can plug it in.
Let me
And I don't think we have time to actually run through it, but
Yeah, just
we'll just show.
Yeah.
So this is our second generation instrument. And what you do is we put the chips into this little hole right here, and then you would push that button, and then wait a few minutes, and then out on the computer it'll spit out the results. And it's actually quantitative too. It tells you how many viruses are in your
Yeah.
blood, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. And this is it. I mean, we have a tablet and the machine.
Yep, that's right.
And it's running off battery power. Bam, boom. That simple. This is what people need.
That's right.
It's exactly what people need. All right, you guys finish up talking. I'm going to read.
And what
Okay.
is the cost of something like this when you are ready? What cost you to build it right now?
It costs as much as a economy car right now to build.
Yeah.
And ideally, I need to survive and build my company up, so I sell
Yeah.
it for a bit more.
Of course.
But in the long term, we hope to get this below $5,000 in terms of its sale price, and then
Wow.
and then depending on the number of tests that we're going to have on each chip, we would like to have it somewhere in the order of $1 to $30. I mean,
Per
sales
test?
price.
Per
I
test.
mean, up to $150 for some very complicated tests, but it really will depend on what you're looking for.
So
for,
simplification and ease of use.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you are looking even to shrink this to a smaller package.
That's right. We're continuing to miniaturize it, and ideally, at some point, we'd like to have it handheld.
Yeah.
That will be the
Just an add-on for the iPhone.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's
the
actually
Shark
what we're
Tank
working
one.
on. So
Yeah.
I have some of my engineers working on making it so that you access it through a tablet, so everything is kind of
Very
the way
cool.
you're
Yeah.
talking about. So
That is awesome.
that's where we're moving.
Well, you better move fast.
Thank
better
you.
move. People need you.
Okay, I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
So besides getting a ticket right now to go to CES and see you this weekend or this week, how else can people find out about this? Maybe help fund or
Well,
anybody who wants to help, how can they help?
I'd encourage them to go to the website, ngabio.com, and then they can give me a call or they email me or text me, however you want. We're located in Boston, incubating in one of the incubating space at Boston University. So, and we're hoping to move to Cambridge soon, into the biotech hub, and start getting some real talent on our team. And that's kind of where we're
Is
moving.
all your information on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can literally call you.
They can literally call me.
All right.
And they literally should.
Definitely, Call, speak to the doctor. This is the only doctor we've ever had on the show, right?
Direct line.
Yeah, direct line to the
Not
doctor.
a real doctor, but Dr. Friedman. That's right.
No, you're a
Well,
doctor.
not an MD doctor.
No,
Yeah,
not an
that's
MD.
right.
PhD
That's right.
doctor.
There we
Yeah,
go.
smart. He's smart.
Yeah.
That's
Smart
all that
doctor.
matters.
Smart is
doctor.
relative. I did a lot of school, is what I'd say.
A lot of homework. He used to do his homework on the bus before he gets home, and you ask him, don't you have a homework? Oh, yeah, I
I'm
did it on
done.
the way.
Oh, man.
That's smart. Now I have more time.
And then I know that this question is going to come up because it always does when we have certain people on the show. Are you married?
I am married.
Sorry, ladies.
Happily married, so.
Sorry, ladies. There's,
late.
Yep, I'm taking 2, so. Sorry. So, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us and coming back on the show. We appreciate it. It was awesome. I'm glad we got to finally show these people. Go to the website. Website one more time.
ngabio.com.
ngabio.com.
Yes.
Contact him if you want to help in any way.
They are looking
get it
for
going.
funding.
They're
They're
looking
looking
for
to grow
funding.
it and deliver it to market
Yeah,
faster.
advertising, and I know that
And some good engineers, too.
Yeah.
good engineers.
And
I don't know any
especially
engineers.
Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, they always looking to save the world.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. Right here.
Here's your answer. I know you just spent like $400 million on Khan Academy.
Oh,
Bill
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
So this is the future. Instead of keep sending
Yeah.
drugs to their own people,
Exactly.
here it is.
You can find the drugs that you need to send.
Yeah, and give
So-
them the right drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see you after the commercial break. We'll be back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I fooled you. You thought I was sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. That's how good of an actor I am. Call me. Call my agent. I don't have one. We
Sign
are.
me up.
Welcome back to the show. We just had Dr. David Freedman on talking about his testing device. And earlier we had Michael Mooney on talking about his
With, health.
Super Nutrition USA.
So you get sick, you see Dr. David. You want to be healthy, you see Professor Mooney or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll just call him the professor.
Yeah.
Well, we're back. We're going to finish up our show. We're going to wrap up. We got about 15 minutes left.
Yes.
So, Avi,
Yes, sir.
I want to hear about these fingerprint stealing bastards.
Yes, but when Sony got hacked, everybody, they got into the system and this and that, which is true. But they don't need to get into the system. They can take a picture of your hand from any ordinary picture, and guess what? They can replicate your fingerprints and get into your Apple Pay or your iPhone or. So I thought at one time, if you have the Apple Pay, you're safe.
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing is safe these days. If it's on a computer, it's not safe anymore.
That's it. That's it.
So, but let's clarify a little bit.
yeah.
So this Prime Minister Germany, something like that?
some government official in Germany.
Yeah.
She was giving a speech,
And she went like this.
yes, and somebody took the picture, zoomed to her fingerprints, and replicated them with a copy. Then made some kind of mold and put it on the iPhone and open the iPhone with her fingerprints.
That's the biggest load of crap I ever heard.
No, they
That's like
showed it
some
on
secret
TV.
spy Mission Impossible stuff.
They showed it on TV, and the guy said, we thought that it's safe. The only safe, it's a retina, what we have in here.
The retina scanner?
The scanning, because it's difficult to replicate the veins in your and the eyes.
Well, I think if there's one thing that we have learned over the last few years with all of this,
Yeah.
Easy Pay, you have the near field communication,
Yeah.
Apple Pay, thumbprint scan. Stop putting stuff on your phones.
Yes, especially stuff that
They're gonna get your credit cards. They're gonna get those naked pictures you
Yeah.
thought nobody would see.
Yeah.
They're gonna get all of your information.
the Pentagon spends billions of dollars to keep things secure, and they get hacked hundreds of millions of times a day.
Yeah.
And they have the biggest, baddest system on the planet. So you think with your weak ass password you got
Yeah.
to protect. If they
Yeah.
want you, they got you.
But it's password with a capital P.
yes.
No, wrong, wrong.
Or password 123.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, look, if it's on your phone, it's you might
Yeah.
as well. I mean, look
Yeah.
at Target.
Yeah.
The guy swiped a fake credit card into their machine and got
Yep.
everybody's
Yep.
credit card numbers.
Yep.
You're never nothing's safe. And I saw a thing where this guy showed how you could. There's a FLIR infrared attachment you can get for like
Yep.
the iPhone, and
Yeah. You go after somebody keyed in
yeah,
there,
and
and
you
you see the heat.
the heat on the pin number.
Yeah, from the
And
finger.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's it. You got it.
And you get their code.
Look.
So,
Don't be an idiot.
yep.
Stop being idiots, people. My God, quit it.
Don't
okay?
believe it. If it's
Don't believe it's secure.
digitized, it's not secure.
It's your whole life is insecure.
Yes.
I'm insecure right now.
That's beside the point.
So yeah, that's our what is it? Public service announcement.
Yes.
Stop putting stuff on your phone and on your cloud that you don't want people to find because
If
it's
you
gonna
don't
come
want
out.
it found, don't put it on the
Yeah.
cloud or on any electronic device.
Yeah.
That's it. And then today starts the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. They don't want you to call it CES. They want you to call it International CES.
Oh.
Yes, international. However, the biggest things there, it's 4K television and what have you, but don't go rush to buy them. They said the specs on it is not defined yet till the end of the year.
Yeah.
But more importantly, a lot of home automation. Guess what? If it's automated, it's going to
gonna
be
get
Wi-Fi.
hacked, yeah.
The guy sits on the outside, can pick
Yeah.
all your codes and all
Exactly.
your files.
Well, that's what I saw. We were talking about, I think, the garage door opener, smart garage door opener, open and close from anywhere.
Yep.
I don't care what password you have on it; it's hackable.
Yep. Yep. And you don't need much. I mean, they showed it over and over. A guy with a laptop knows what he's doing, can sit outside your house and pick up your Wi-Fi signal for every device you have in your home.
Yeah.
They are actually, even the smart cars that they have, autonomous cars,
Yeah.
can be hacked.
Oh,
Your car
Jesus.
today can be hacked because it has some electronics in it, and somebody can drive next to you and take control of your car, make your gauge look like it's on empty,
Yeah.
or may change the speed because
Stop
they are
telling people
digital.
they can do that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think they knew they could do that.
They showed it on TV. The guy was driving next door, and the guy's
Oh,
sitting there
God.
driving 30 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and his speedometer showing 100 miles an hour. Then he was driving 50, and the speedometer showing 0. And then they showed the gas tank was full. It showed it empty, with the guy sitting in the other car hacking into it and changing the information on it. So,
That's insanity.
yep. So
Be careful, people. My God, we're a society that relies heavily on electronics and fast information and digital information. It's coming back to bite us.
North Korea is not stupid.
Yeah.
No, they don't have electricity.
Well, they are stupid.
They are, but they are smarter than us. There's nothing to hack there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think that's by choice of the people, though.
No.
Speaking of North Korea,
Yes.
did you watch the interview?
Yes, it took us like about 4 hours because we watched it on Xbox, and that night they hacked the Xbox.
Oh
and-
yeah. Oh
Yeah, you
man,
can-
yeah. You can hack it back to the hacking. You can hack anything. What did you think of the movie?
It's stupid. It's
course.
fun.
Well, yeah.
It's funny, but
yeah.
that's the idea behind it.
Exactly.
But these people are moron. It's the same thing like in the Middle East. You can't make fun of the prophet.
Yeah,
They go the same weird,
Yeah.
crazy on you.
Yeah.
When you just say one word,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be derogatory or anything.
Yeah.
they freak out. And that's the same thing. They idolize this guy like he's God.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the information that we're talking in the movie, that's what the people believe.
Oh yeah, yeah. He said,
Literally.
"You're telling me my man doesn't pee or poo?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they believe that for real. But
He has a reverse osmosis system.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I watched it too. I thought it was funny. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining until about, like with all those movies, like what was the other one they did where it was the end of the world? This is it, or this is the end. Something. Anyways, there was one where they were at the end of the world, and it was funny too until the action starts picking up and they start doing that stuff. Then it's kind of like it's not as funny anymore, and the movie loses some of its flavor. But I don't know what the North Koreans or what Kim Jong-un was so mad about. I mean, I thought it was a good movie. It was.
Well, he didn't, because it was about him, how stupid he was.
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't make the Americans look that much smarter. So I thought it was. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I think. Great marketing technique.
Don't go
from
see
Sony.
it. Download it. It's cheaper. So if you have 3-4 people, for $5, it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was available on iTunes the first day.
iTunes, Xbox, PlayStation, even on YouTube and Google Play. So it was widely available.
Yeah.
But in the first day, we watched it the first day. That's when they hacked the Xbox and the PlayStation. And the show will start, and 10 minutes later, it starts
My cousin
buffering.
got a PlayStation 4 for his children.
And he couldn't.
As soon as I went to go set it up for the whole day, it was like you couldn't set it up.
Yeah.
But it got resolved.
Yeah.
But you know who should have been watching the interview?
Who?
The people in Abu Dhabi who had to sit for 12. They could have played that for
28
them.
Yeah.
12 hours
On the plane.
on the plane on the tarmac.
Yeah.
Because the airport was too crowded.
And they kept telling them they're going to leave shortly. They kept.
Oh, well,
announcing
that's what they say. Oh, we're going to leave in 15 minutes. They
Yeah.
did it to us because we were about an hour late leaving Seattle to fly into Juneau.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I went to Alaska to visit family this holiday season.
And to shoot bison.
I didn't shoot a bison. I just helped unload the meat. 512 pounds of bison meat. Oh, man, that stuff is delicious, dude.
I heard you got half of it in your house.
No, I got 2 things of bison hamburger. And it's so good. But a bunch of fish. I'll bring you some fish tomorrow. But yeah, so 12 hours, and they kept putting them off, saying that they couldn't. And the stewardesses or the flight attendants, are arguing with the passengers.
Yep.
The passengers are arguing with the flight attendants, and I mean, I can just
No
imagine
food,
them
no water, nothing.
for 12
Yeah.
hours. Airlines, they just do whatever the hell they want.
Well, they don't have the rules we have in our country. If they left you in the plane here for longer than 2 hours, they have to take you back, or they will be fined.
Well, it wasn't always like that. Remember a few
Yeah.
years ago
Yeah.
we had the same problem here.
Yeah, JetBlue, they left the people for like 10 hours or
Yeah.
whatever.
Can you imagine that? The
sitting in the-
smell, and they sometimes when they're just sitting there, they don't turn the air on, so it
the
gets hot as
circuit,
hell. Oh man,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And more travel-related news from this holiday season.
Yes.
Air Asia crashed. They believe it crashed. It just disappeared.
Weather.
Yeah,
Not
weather.
disappear, but weather. They think more and more it's
Took
weather.
it down.
Yeah, it's the same thing what happened probably to Air France a couple years back. And the poor pilot, he asked to change route or go higher, and they denied that. And literally right after that,
They went down.
Yeah, and there, the monsoon and all this, the weather pattern changes so fast. They said that certain level, the temperature was like 120 below zero from the downdraft coming down. So some equipment, and then it could be wind shear, and where the wind direction changes, first you have the updraft and then downdraft.
drops, yeah.
And if you get caught in it, it will push you all the way down.
Yeah, you're done. I
Yeah.
mean, you'll be lucky to pull out
So
of
it's
that.
unlike the Malaysian Air
Yeah.
Flight 370. This one actually,
weather, not
weather,
operator error.
yeah, It wasn't the guy took a ride and
Yeah.
left it on autopilot.
Yeah, I was reading though that there were like 40 people from the same Christian church
Yeah, yeah,
on the plane.
yeah.
They said there was no reason for all of them to be on the plane together.
And they went on vacation
Together.
They were on they were going on vacation
And then there was another crash, a small aircraft crash here in America.
Kentucky. Yeah,
And a 7-year-old girl survived.
yeah.
Walked through the dark, cold woods in the middle of the night.
3/4 mile, total darkness in
Barefoot.
wooded area, barefoot,
Yeah.
and almost freezing temperature.
It sounds like one of those stories your grandfather tells you. You know, when you complain about something, he says, "Oh, I walked uphill both ways to school in neck deep snow."
Yeah.
But this girl, I mean, that's one of the most injured,
Yeah.
broken wrist.
Yep.
7 years old. I know, 30-year-old men who would have a broken finger and
they won't even
play basketball for $1 million.
Yeah.
And this 7-year-old girl with a broken wrist.
Yeah, and to have the consciousness to walk toward the lights, because if she walked any other direction, she will be still walking.
That's a smart girl.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she lost her parents in that crash.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did a great job because she
I
survived.
guess the father was a pilot instructor, and he was training them and explaining to them and what have you. And when the plane flipped, for some reason, her door or where she was able to crawl out and walk. And I don't know how, in the total darkness, to look and see the light 3/4 mile and just walk through it with a ditch and all the obstacles.
I mean, that's an incredible. I mean, that is an incredible story.
Yes.
I mean, that's like movie type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unheard of. I mean, we had a couple years ago the guy who landed in the New York River or whatever.
Yeah, Solly Sullenberger.
He landed the plane on the water,
Yeah.
which was like unheard of, even though they tell you, get your life preserved.
Yeah.
But now, for this girl, 7 years old, probably just had the most traumatic experience of her life.
Yeah, and
to make it and be able to take people back to the crash. It's just
unbelievable story. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't believe in angels and this and that. And if the angels were there, why they let go of the family, the rest of the family?
Yeah.
But I think her determination and will to live and to focus that there is a light and I have to get to it. That's amazing.
I mean, at a certain point, survival instincts kick in.
Yes. And
but she's
adrenaline.
7.
Yeah. Well, even 7. I mean, when your life is in a jeopardy or you're in fight or flight mode, you don't think, and you just go.
She's a tough little girl because she went right into fight mode.
Yeah.
A lot of kids would curl up and cry.
Yeah.
But she
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to see that movie.
Okay.
I cannot wait to see that. It's going to be a movie. I'm telling you. I'm going on record right now. It's going to be a movie. How could it not be? And if it's not, I'm going to make it. And I'll make it a movie. Well, we'd like to thank everybody that we're at the end of the show, Avi.
Yes.
We'd like to thank our guests that we had on today, Michael Mooney, Dr. David Freedman.
Yes.
We'd like to thank OC Digital Studio for allowing us to come in and do another fantastic show with their great crew.
And Miera is coming up with a new show, Pacific.
Oh, yeah. Keep an eye out for that.
Pacific.
Miera, our coordinator here, who does an awesome job, kicks butt every day like it's her last day on Earth. She is going to have her own show called
Pacific Spotlight.
Pacific Spotlight. She's going to go around to places here in Orange County, businesses and locations.
Entertainment places,
Entertainment,
fashion.
restaurants.
Yeah. And highlight those places so you can have places to go, places to be with, and shop and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's basically like... she's going to be the Robin Leach of Orange County. I
That's
don't know
it.
if you guys remember who Robin Leach is, but Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. That's going to be Miera. Champagne Wishes and Caviar Dreams.
That's it.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. I'd like to thank our crew.
Yes.
Alec, Greg.
Yes.
Miera's in there right now, helping
Carl.
out. Carl, as always. And, again, if you have any issues with the audio, contact
Avi.
Steven. Okay? All right, guys. Well, that's it for the show. Avi, great show as always. Thank you to our guests. OCDigital.com, and you can check us out, YouTube and Facebook and iTunes.
OCDigitalStudio.com.
OCDigitalStudio.com, and we'll be on Plug-In Pod TV.
Yep.
See you later. Peace out.
Okay.